Welcome to my channel. Hit Bollywood movie English explanation. Vikram is a police officer in the Telangana CID, where he works in the homicide intervention team HIT, and is a sharp person who solves crucial cases with his ability to capture even the smallest of details, thus earning the trust of his senior Vishwanath. He is in love with Neha, his colleague, and a forensic officer. Rohit is Vikram's close friend and colleague, who accompanies him in most of his cases. Vikram is constantly in an argument with Abhilash, another officer, who crosses lines with Vikram. Vikram occasionally suffers from PTSD due to his past experience and refuses to take pills as he believes it slows down his abilities. Meanwhile, a girl named Preethi is driving on the highway, and her car stops to the side because it suffers a malfunction. Officer Ibrahim stops to help her, and she calls her father because she forgot her phone at her home. When her father comes to pick her up, he sees that she has gone missing, and Ibrahim says that she got into a blue car and he thought it was his car. When Preethi's parents approach Ibrahim demandingly, he remains firm and insults them. Being a good friend of Preethi's parents, Vishwanath decides to suspend Ibrahim because of how he acted and since he does not believe him. Vikram decides to take a 6-month break to relieve his PTSD attacks. After 2 months, Vikram gets a call that Neha goes missing. He decides to go back to Vishwanath and ask for the case file for Neha going missing, but he says Abhilash is dealing with the case, and he cannot give it to him. Vikram decides to ask Shinde, who is Neha's colleague, about the cases Neha has dealt with over the past 2 months. Vikram and Rohit connect Preethi's and Neha's missing cases and deduce that the same person is involved in both cases. Vikram decides to investigate, and he asks Srinivas for Preethi's case, and he takes over the case. Meanwhile, Abhilash has suspicions that Vikram was the one who kidnapped Neha. Vikram decides to go to Preethi's college, and he asks Ajay and Sandhya about what happened the previous night, and they say the same response about how they were at a pub. Vikram and Rohit ask both Preethi's parents, and they say that her parents died in a car crash and she was living with them and Preethi's neighbor Sheila about her. Vikram and Rohit start deducing the case, and they conclude that Sheila kidnapped Preethi after they see Sheila's blue car and a note forged by Sheila indicating the whereabouts of Preethi's corpse. Ibrahim then sees the car and says that Sheila was not the one who kidnapped Preethi. Vikram and his team dig up the body behind the house and find that it is unnoticeable and it has a few DNA samples on it. Vikram suspects Ajay because he said that Preethi was his girlfriend. While searching for the shreds of evidence, Vikram gets a call from a stranger named Lata who is stopped by a man in a car telling her to stop so that he can talk, but she drives fast and reaches the outskirts and contacts Vikram. Vikram begins his investigation in the toll booth on the highway. Vikram, using the toll gate security cameras, deduces that the man who kidnapped was Fahad. After Vikram, Abhilash, and Ibrahim find Fahad, Ibrahim is shot dead by Fahad while Vikram and Abhilash capture him. Fahad takes them to the house where he received the money to kidnap Preethi. Vikram finds out that it was Rohit's house, and before Rohit shoots him, he shoots him dead. Abhilash goes upstairs and gets Neha. During the funeral of Rohit, Sapna explains how Preethi and Sapna belonged to the same orphanage. Preethi, Sapna, and her younger sister used to be in Saraswati's orphanage. When Mohan's brother and his wife came to adopt a child, they were interested in all 3 of them. Sapna requested Preethi to deny her acceptance to getting adopted so her sister could get adopted and get treatment for her heart problem. Preethi, however, is chosen to be adopted and leaves the orphanage along with the couple. Sapna's sister passed away later, causing her to harbor hatred against Preethi. Sapna explains how she saw Preethi at a club and suddenly all the pent-up feelings came out. Sapna tries to tell Preethi, but Preethi rebukes Sapna. Sapna kidnaps Preethi with the help of Fahad and then Preethi dies in a scuffle. Rohit, to protect Sapna, buries her and plants the DNA evidence. Sapna explains the whole story and Sapna gets arrested. Vikram attends the funeral of both Preethi and Ibrahim. The unidentified DNA on Preethi was of Rohit. He knew he would be caught and wanted to die at the hands of Vikram. When Neha and Vikram are talking, Vikram almost gets shot. It is then hinted that the story would continue in Hit, the second case.